What's Your Tyler's Bag with a follow-up from my last one I did, which is the worst 30 game storylines, in my opinion, that is. So, we're going to counter to that with this one, which is the best 30 game storylines ever. And unlike the last one, SVR06 will be on this. SmackDown vs. Raw 10-6 will be on this one. And I hope you guys did enjoy that revenge preview I did last night. But that was then. This is now. I know it's not going to be that big of views like the last revenge I did last year. But who cares about views anyways? It's about my subscribers and the people who support this channel. And my secondary channel, that is, also. But anyways. Let's get on to this. So we're going to start out with SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Again, I didn't mention there was like some, were not many bad storylines in that one. Outside of the Triple H one, which was kind of weak compared to the other ones. And no Road to WrestleMania is also on this list. I mean, I could include the last one, which was you're fighting the WCW Legends, but I'm not going to count that one because that's a Road to WrestleMania at once. So yeah. Now as far as the best storyline in this game, I wanted to talk about the Undertaker one, but considering the more eerie part of it where Eddie was put in a casket, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. That one's not my favorite storyline in the game. Mine is actually the one you find Rob in for WrestleMania, the ECW storyline where they're taking over SmackDown, and there's two choices in this. You either align with ECW or fight against ECW, which, let's be fair here, you're going to fight against ECW. And, yeah. I might do a storyline or a video on every storyline where there's an invasion storyline in these games. Starting with this one, but that's that. So, yeah. I am going to the ECW storyline in this one. Benoit, Tajiri, Jericho were part of this ECW storyline. Spike Dudley was also in there. So yeah. Now let's get to this one, SVR07, and this is a no-brainer. It's the Rescuing the Princess storyline with Stephanie McMahon. I mean, I talk about that storyline. It's one of the best storylines in the game. It's, your fighting legends are in their primes. So, again, this is SmackDown vs. Raw 7. They use wrestlers when they're in their primes. And Roddy Piper kidnaps Stephanie McMahon. And just like in the ECW storyline, you could pick either you side with Piper or Vince, but we're not going to side with kidnappers. But then it turns out, it ends with the first blood match. You find Piper. Doesn't matter which path you take. But still, I really do like this storyline. And overall, the game is awesome. Still, almost 20 years later. Now let's get to SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. Again, this is not a... It's better than 09. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It's better than 2009, But the one storyline I did like in this one is the whole thing with the McMahons. You find them for their henchmen from Royal Rumble all the way to WrestleMania. Undertaker does this to grab your partner in a scary way, etc., etc. And it's in WrestleMania, but that's not how it ended. It goes on until you reach 100 in the 24/7 mode, which, yeah. But compared to the last one I did, which I did not like, and my worst ones, we find the other brands for Survivor Series. Yeah, that one's was my least favorite one. The one you find against the McMahons are probably my favorite one in the game. When you're the champion, that is. So yeah, there's that. Now let's get to 2K19 now. We're going to skip all the way there because 15 to 18 dolls are not really like... I'm talking about like main storylines in this. So I'm gonna include the last part of it where you're fighting its evolution, and then AJ Styles and Finn Balor turns on you. This led to the match with you and AJ at WrestleMania, where you win the Universal title back. Again, that's probably my favorite storyline in this one, but still, um, yeah, that's probably my favorite storyline in the game. And then we go from a great game to this. Yeah, we know. There's one storyline I actually like. Ready? The Undertaker storyline, where you find the urn for like the 18,000th time. I mean, that's all I have to say, really. You fight Undertaker in hell, then you get the urn from hell, but then it was just a dream sequence because Papa Shango wasn't there. Also, you're fighting Kane in a scarier boiler room, and other stuff, fighting Nikki Cross and Bray Wyatt respectively, but your male and female characters. And yeah, what else I have to say about this dumpster fire game? Although, let's be fair here. Would you rather play this or 5-Star Wrestling with Genesis? I'd rather play this than 5-Star Wrestling with Genesis because that game is suck ass. Terrible. Okay, WWE2K22. I don't know which my favorite storyline in the game, but I'm gonna say the Edge one is probably the best storyline in the game because because he wins the Universal title, but it was due to cheating. But then you fight him at Payback, you beat him there, and yeah, I forgot what else. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that one, really. I know some of these are really gonna be quick, but I'm gonna talk about the next three to get this done and over with. So, WWE2K23. I mean, there's two storylines in it. I mean, the women's one, that one wasn't that great. Let's be fair here. This led to the one I did like is the last part of the men's story. The Lock one, where you're an outsider coming back in, and then you have like a deadline. If you don't win the WWE Championship till SummerSlam, you're gone for good, according to Shawn Michaels. Which you win all that, you win War Games, and then you win the WWE Championship from Randy Orton, and then there's the Sami Zayn cash in, which that happened. But yeah, this one you could crew some wrestlers also, and yeah, WK23's best one in my opinion is the last part of the men's story, where you're up against Shawn Michaels' supergroup, and yeah. 32K24, it's the same thing as the last one, the last storyline in the game, where Roman Reigns brings back Brock Lesnar to fight you at WrestleMania, and then you fight the reunited bloodline with Sami Zayn and some of your other pals from the War Games match, and you fight Brock there, and then Roman comes back and you fight him at WrestleMania, and it ends when you being Roman at WrestleMania. You broke his record at the same time, and yeah, 2K24. That's probably the best one. I know the women's one had the last part of it, but that one was a convoluted mess, really. And finally, WK25. I'm currently playing this one, so yeah. This is one gigantic storyline, which is the Mutiny storyline, which we know about this one. I think the best storyline in this one, recruiting Cody Rhodes, where Randy Orton joins the Mutiny side, and then R-Truth and you do a time machine type of thing, and you mess up the timeline where Punk didn't get his big moment of Money in the Bank and all that, and And this is when Stardust fighting Randy Orton at WrestleMania 31. Why? I don't know. It's kind of like that SpongeBob episode where Patrick's mother, father, grandfather, the crazy one, and his sister messed up SpongeBob's timelines of being at rock bottom, and the Krusty getting his first job in the Krusty Krab, and all that. But yeah, that's probably the best one. The Becky Charlotte recruitment storylines are also good, but so there's that. And yeah, Raw will be tomorrow. Tuesday I'll do the Kermit the Frog Swamp Beers movie also. Yeah. And move on from there. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel for notifications as well as my second channel titles retro reviews, so you'll see on Thursday WWE Fall Brawl 2000 and there's that. There. Bye-bye.